Hello guys, this is Jay from GTI Media representing Grad Malaysia, and we are here for our second Digital Roundtable. I know, we're under lockdown still, even with the MCMO, and I know it sucks, we are stuck at home, but let's do something about it. Let's do something about how to navigate the new norm, and we have some very special guests with us here today. We have, first and foremost, we have Chung, who is the Talent Acquisition and Employer Branding Manager at Arvato Systems Malaysia. Can we have Louis? Hi, Louis.
Hi, Jai. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Can you give another big wave to our viewers here on Zoom and also on Facebook Live?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Louis. Can you just give a quick introduction on yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you. So I'm Lewis. I look after the recruitment aspect of the business of Arvato Systems Malaysia. I've been within the business almost coming up to 3 years. And just a short brief about our company and what we are. So as a group of business, we have about 117,000 employees worldwide. So we're not really a small business. And Arvato Systems, as a group of business, we have roughly coming up to about 3,000 employees. What we do specifically for our group businesses is actually we provide different levels of service ranging from consulting, systems integration, infrastructure work, as well as application management. Now, as an example, this actually, what we do, in fact, in all those services we provide, it actually helps businesses out there to allow them to go through an easy transition working in this period. So businesses will be digitally enabled to allow them to allow their employees to work from home. So that's kind of what we do. Now, out here in Malaysia, we have roughly about 180 employees here. And due to the nature of the services that we provide and what we do as a company, actually for several years now, all of our employees have been basically working remotely.
Right, that's interesting. It's good to know you guys were probably the first to start this, and a long time ago.
Yeah. And I think in a nutshell, that's a good summary about us as a company and how we are going through this pandemic at the moment.
All right, great. Now we have our second guest, Seekay. Seekay is the Talent Management and Development Specialist at OPPO Malaysia. Hi, Seekay. Welcome. Hi, Seekay.
Hi, everyone. Seekay Liew.
Hi.
Hi. Hope you guys are doing well.
Yes.
Okay.
Seekay, can you give us a quick introduction on your role and also what OPPO Malaysia does?
Sure. So I'm Seekay from OPPO Malaysia. I'm the Talent Management and Development Specialist. Under my role, I'm doing, of course, our employer branding and then training and development. At the same time, we are doing our performance management system as well. So, of course, we involve in, my department will be fully taking care on management training program and, of course, employer branding as well. So I think management training program are quite related for fresh graduate or those who are going to graduate very, very soon. Okay. Of course, at the same time, we are dealing with internship as well. So back to OPPO, talking about OPPO, no matter during MCO or before MCO or even now CMCO, so we are actively doing recruitment as well. I would say recruitment never stops because we are a company that we are growing. Our outlets are expanding. Our headcount is nearly 3,000 at this moment, okay? And we are expanding further. Okay? Because ours, from all different roles, from finance, from business administrations, from human resource, or even skills graduates like designer, okay? We do hiring as well. And until now, we are still hiring. And we are still facing difficulties to look for the right person. Okay, that's why be positive, be optimistic about this coronavirus, okay, about this COVID-19. For fresh graduate, I think this is your time now.
All right, great, Seekay. So you guys heard it here first. OPPO Malaysia is hiring. Seekay is in charge of the management training programs, right, Seekay?
Yes.
and you guys have roles throughout the year, full-time jobs. So students shouldn't worry right now, right?
Shouldn't worry, no worry.
All right. Okay, great. So can we have Louis back again? Louis, can you share a fun? Let's start with something lighthearted, something fun. Okay. What's the most interesting thing that has happened to you during this MCO?
I think the most interesting thing for people who know me or has come into interview and whatnot, you can see the state of my hair. You know, I got involved with a bit of hairdressing and trying to style my own hair. Unfortunately, that didn't work out very well. So that was, I wouldn't even say that's a talent I discovered, but that was something I discovered. I think that on the positive side, obviously spending a lot of time with my wife, spending a lot of time cooking, and of course that comes with cleaning as well, which I know not a lot of people like. But I kind of, you know, now got into, you know, my chef hat and been trying to cook new things and be a bit more creative. So these are, I guess, these are the unexpected things that I never thought I'd be able to pick up.
Right, interesting. How about you, Seekay? Anything fun you learned or did?
I mean, during this MCO,
Yeah.
I just realized that I'm a good chef.
Just like Louis.
Just like Luis. It seems like extra skill was unlocked. Yes, I think we are adapting into the new normal lifestyle as what has been promoted or has been advised by the government of Malaysia. And honestly, our company, OPPO Malaysia, our own MCO so-called, okay, our own MCO, where we allow our staff to work from home, is even earlier than government. Even before government declared MCO, we are already starting working from home. We started working from home. So I would say that pretty interesting where you save 2 to 3 hours a day where you don't have to start in the jam all the way to your office. And surprisingly, you are more productive than you're working in the office. One thing, I mean, that you really can be implanted into every single of your employees or even myself is the discipline of working from home, the time management skills that you are working from home. How do you live concentrating? How do you concentrate into your tasks, your work, with all kind of disruptions? Like me, I have a family with kids. My kids don't need to go to school, and they are the ones who are making noise at home. I got to tie them up or lock them into their playroom so that I can work.
Right. So I guess everyone is just, you know, changing the way they're doing things, they're learning things. I guess, you know, like haircut always comes up. Everyone's learning how to cut their own hair, style their own hair. I don't have hair, so that's not a problem for me.
So you won't have this worry.
No, it's always like that. So cooking is the other thing. So everyone is, you know, maybe their wives are telling them to, you know, cook more, do more. So everyone has to learn to cook if they haven't done before, you know. So let's move on to our first point. It looks like the MCO, the coronavirus, everyone is just hitting the restart button, right? Whether you had a job before or whether you were unemployed before and are still unemployed right now, it looks like everyone is kind of like on the same level playing field, and like I said, it's a restart, right? So what does this mean for graduates who are looking for a job, and maybe even students who are looking for an internship? Louis?
So thank you for that. I mean, obviously coming from an IT you know, industry background, you know, I think the encouragement is there that you know, for students or graduates who are studying computer science, you know, they will definitely have a very fast career within this sector. I think as we've seen how business trends are at the moment and how our economy is, there's going to be a growing demand for even local or global MNC businesses that they'll really start to, I guess, target and look at digitalization within their business to, I mean, you know, not to be, you know, too negative about the situation, but, you know, what if this happens again in the future? Are businesses ready for it? And I think majority of the businesses out there will start to look at this and start to really reinforce their own business infrastructure to accommodate and facilitate for digitalized working. So this whole topic about the new norm, we're talking about the difference between 10 years ago till now, where, it used to be a solid 9 till 6, Monday to Friday, have to be behind the screen. I'm going to tell most people within this webinar that, that's not going to happen anymore. The new norm has really, really changed this dramatically. Where now, we're accustomed to, yes, saying black and white on paper to work 9 till 6, Monday to Friday. But I believe CK and me, we're in the same situation where we're definitely working a lot more hours than that. Although, yes, we had the commute time, but, it's the whole being very near to a computer and responding very quick to inquiries and things like that. So that proactive edge has really changed in terms of dynamics. As an example, when I was a fresh grad and how I used to work versus now to what I see is the new norm, basically.
Yep. So CK, you're handling the management trainee programs over there in OPPO, and I guess you also come into contact with applications from students, from graduating students, from fresh grads. So how has this changed in terms of how you interact with them or how they interview with you?
Okay. The biggest change for our management training program or even our internship program, instead of we are doing a face-to-face interview, so now everything has go online. So honestly, I will share with all of the audience today, or the fresh grad today, whether to be very materialized, to be very honest, first thing we're going to see is their results first at this moment. Previously, they were given chance to meet us, so we can evaluate them based on their interview performance, their verbal, non-verbal communications. Sometimes we can observe capability of someone through conversation, face-to-face conversation.
Right.
But now, the first thing that we have more works now, honestly. As Louis say, our working hour has become longer. Honestly, it has become longer, where you have 15 minutes, quickly go down and grab your lunch, then you go back to your PC again and work again. So what makes us work more and what makes us makes our working hour longer is because of we need to filter a lot of application. Application is flowing in, honestly, because when you look into this particular month, May, June, very soon you're going to be August. And this particular month are those, some of the private universities where most of their students completed their courses. Where two big groups of young kids will come up. The first one is internship, and the second one is our fresh graduate. Most of the university, they don't have convocation anymore. Okay, they may delay it to next year for their convocation. But anyway, they are graduated with a SNET letter. So they applied through their result. And my team here, the first thing we do is, I did told them that why not we filter. We have 3 buckets, honestly. The first bucket is those with first class degree, okay? And some of the majors that suitable to our industry, okay? Major of studies suitable to the industry. For example, if you are studying, bachelor degree in historical research or historical study, so this may not be in our primary bucket, honestly. Okay, so even you score a 4 flat, okay? Unless we are hiring someone within the training department, I may need someone who has a better philosophical thinking or thought, okay? So the first thing we rely very much, okay, first thing is the result, okay? And then the new way is we don't have much time now. A very simple advice to, this is the reset button that we are talking just now. A very simple and straightforward advice to all the young graduate or going to apply for your internship students here, okay? Do not download your CV from JobStreet, okay? Your CV from JobStreet consists of 7 to 8 pages. I think for fresh graduate, minimum will be 5 to 6 pages. Honestly, we don't have time to go through it. Be creative in doing your CV, straightforward in doing your CV, because in our point of view, management trainee program or even internship, we are not looking for someone who has a lot of experience in the industry, but we are looking at someone where very clean. We treat you as a very clean piece of plain paper. Then you come in, then we're going to train you step by step. So this is the new normal, or we say the reset button in our SOP now. So I go through your CV first. I want simple, straightforward CV, okay? And then, of course, some of your creativity and the innovation of doing your CV, there will be added value, okay? Because my team here, majority of them are female, okay? HR department, okay? This is normal. So then we proceed for our interview online. Probably usually we use Zoom, okay? Sometimes we use WhatsApp video. So this is the way we interview. But honestly, using video interview, you won't have that kind of deep interaction or face-to-face interaction that you can observe some of the non-verbal behavior, where that one actually is an added value for face-to-face communication, face-to-face interview compared to online interview.
Right.
Okay, but anyway, that's the new normal now.
Right.
Okay, yeah, pass it back to Jai.
Yes, Louis, would you want to chip into that?
Yeah, I mean, actually, for us as a business, especially in the IT segment, a lot of the people that we try to identify for a fresh grad positions and whatnot, not only do we look at their grades and their results, and actually to say grades and results is not a priority of what we look at. What we do look at, in fact, is their own aspiration. What we try to do, within the recruitment team is identify, do they really have a passion to go to apply for a fresh grad position in something that they really want? And is it just, whatever they've done in their major to what they want to, what is kind of paved out for them? Or is it out of passion? So a lot of what we try to do is make sure that when we identify someone, they're not just going to go into the IT sector, go into our business for maybe a year and a half and say, oh, that's not for me anymore. What we try to do is really pave and carve their career out in the area that they really went for. So, I mean, grades for us has never been a top priority. What we do especially look at is how determined they are to pick up new skill. Now, as we all know, during university time, they may not have a lot of practical experience, especially in what their majors are. But what we try to identify from that batch of people is that we try to aim for the ones that will take extracurricular activities or will do self-studies. Now, when they do self-studies, that's when we challenge them and we ask them during an interview situation, go into detail. What do you really know? Don't give us the textbook answer. Give us something practical, that a side project that you've done. No matter how small, how big it is, we want to hear it. Those are the key traits that we're looking for. Even if they graduated with a third, it really doesn't matter. We want to see that passion. That's kind of what we go for in our business.
Right. Interesting, Louis. Can you chime in a little bit more about how internships are in Arvato right now?
Right. So internship-wise, I mean, look, I'm gonna be very frank. The structure of our internship for our intake has never been different. As I mentioned, as an IT business, how we do things, how we support our people, it's always been running the same. So what we generally look for is interns who are ready to commit to us for 3 to 4 months, ideally 4 months. The reason behind that is because there's so much practical work that they've never been exposed to that they will need to be able to pick up. So for us on our side, on management side, we can really say, hold on, we've really done a good job with this person. Okay, so that's kind of why we aim for a 4 month. Okay, now what we do is we make sure that the intern is paired up right now, obviously virtually, to ensure that they are keeping track and keeping up with some of our either individual contributors or even very senior team leaders that, what they want to do and what they demonstrated from day one, we can really, progress them through during that 4 month. So we want to see a big change from your day one with the support and mentors who's sticking by you every day. You've got any questions, they're there to answer, all the way to the 4 months to say, hey, I can do something on my own. I don't need to be handheld. I can code from this all the way to this. So these are the things that, what we try to do to support, and that's not changed. Obviously in the past, we used to do it face-to-face in the office, everywhere, everyone is reachable. Now, you know, with technology and what we do, everything's just done remotely. Our calls happen every single day. The busiest time for us is obviously in the afternoon as well, when our colleagues in Germany is opened, when they're obviously awake and in the office. So, I mean, business as usual, really.
Okay, great. CK, how are internships like in OPPO right now?
Okay. During the MCO, honestly, we are not taking in any new interns. Okay, but we have still a few of them who are doing intern in OPPO. Okay, so what we do is they are working from home, and of course, tasks will be assigned to them as well. Tasks will be assigned to them as well. So they're gonna get things done at home. One thing that the guidance or the training that provided to them along this MCO has to be through their direct supervisor, So honestly, something that which is really lacking of is the face-to-face interaction with their direct supervisor, where actually this is the most valuable thing that interns can absorb from the industry, and what's the industry can be given to them. Okay, but anyway, I do believe that this group of intern, okay, during this COVID-19 pandemic, okay, they are able to survive, or they know the new way to survive in the workplace compared to the previous internships batches where we are working on the normal way of working. But this group of guys or girls, okay, so they are totally different. I mean, they've been served 1 or 2 months in the office. All in a sudden, they went into an MCO and they need to work from home. This group of interns, honestly, I'm telling you, I mean, throughout, 10 to 20 years in our career market or our job industry here, hardly you will have intern to experience 50% in the office training and 50% working from home training. And actually, this is giving you a new or a very valuable experience who are working, who are doing intern during this particular MCO. Okay, so training given by intern are, optimum, which is on the right path. Okay, so where they didn't really drop down from the program that we given to them. Same goes to management training. Okay, so management training in OPPO is 3 months. Okay, along these 3 months, they have courses to attend, training to attend, to equip them with competencies in order to go to work. Because out of a group of management training, those who were selected will hold some junior management role or executive roles in the office. So at the same time, they need to perform their job as well. Okay, so we are doing online training. Good to say that OPPO, we have a very systematic online training system. Okay, so by using Zoom, actually we are using our main communication platform in OPPO is DingTalk. DingTalk is one of the applications by Alibaba. Okay, so our attendants are there, our online learning, online training are there. So we have our video conference training over there as well. So, and we have a lot of online training material, PowerPoint to be uploaded, a lot of awareness about this MCO, okay, how to stop spreading of disease, how to protect yourself, will be uploaded to this particular platform as well. So optimal training of level was given to both management trainee and internship, okay? And of course, work experience-wise, as I say just now, where yes, the experience how to work in an office, as Louis said just now, 9 to 6, okay? With one, in OPPO, our lunch hour is 1.5 hours, okay? So 1.5 hours, 9 to 6. So with 1.5 hours of lunch hour, and they did experience how to work from home to discipline themselves in the eye of their schedule, okay? In the eye of their time management as well, all right?
Right. Okay, so before we move on, Louis and CK, we have a question from Fakrushi Shakirin. Fakrushi Shakirin is actually, I think, living on the east coast of Malaysia. So Kelantan or Terengganu could be Pahang. And the question is, maybe Louis, you take the question first, and then we move on to CK. The question is, do you actually prioritize hiring based on location? So do you hire those who are closer to your business, for example, Klang Valley? Or right now, does it not matter anymore? They could be living in, Sabah, Sarawak for all you care.
I can say that is a brilliant question. Just a bit of a snapshot about our business. About 35 to 40% of our business is made up of expatriates, most of whom weren't based in Malaysia. We actually had to do some sort of relocation. I can safely say I myself am not from Malaysia either. So hiring expats or people that are not in the surrounding of KL, that is not a contributing factor to whether or not we prioritize you as a candidate. We look for skill, we look for determination, we look for mindset. And I think just to pick up from what Seekay was saying, you know, the aspect of which now we're seeing more and more people have the ability to, I guess, self-manage their own time and to be able to work from home and not be in the office and have a strict structure. Those are some of the key, I guess, what we call entrepreneurship that we try to identify. You know, we would like our, obviously, fresh grads or interns to have that sort of mindset before they come in, that, you know, you manage your own time. We're not going to spoon feed you. You're an adult, you're coming into the working world. You should be able to prioritize what is important, what is not. Yeah. So that's kind of, you know, what is, you know, jumping from what Seekay was saying, that's kind of a very important trait. And I can say this trait is going to be more and more important in the years to come. After what's been happened, and, you know, from a management's perspective, and obviously having, you know, potentially having juniors within the team, you know, we don't want to be in a situation where we worry about what is the workload for our juniors. We want them, our juniors, to be able to take that leap and say, I know what I'm doing. You know, someone who's reporting to Seekay would say, hey, Seekay, I know what my task is today. I know what I need to handle. I'll come back to you if I need help, but I'll come back to you with what I can do. So that's kind of those attributes now more than ever of what we're looking for.
How about you, Seekay? Does hiring go by the location of the candidate anymore?
Okay. OPPO Malaysia, we have 13 branches, nationwide. Okay. So even you're in Sabah, Sarawak, we have our branches as well. We have regional HQ, we call it, over there. So let's talk about HQ in PJ, where the place that we are working now. Okay. We have employees who are staying in Mantin, Seremban. Okay, and they came to work every day during the normal hour or during the normal day, which is non-MCO time. Okay, and actually, I think this is, as long as the main concern of our employer, our company, our management decision is our office must be accessible to public transport. Okay, so we're going to move to a new office very soon, probably towards the end of this year. So, and that particular location is very near to public transport as well. So, yes, the main concerns are there. Okay, we will ask candidate when they came, let's say our office is in PJ, and this particular candidate is staying in Klang. I mean, Klang to PJ is quite near. Let's say Mantin, that guy just now that I mentioned just now, stay in Mantin. So the first question we're going to ask him is, how are you going to come to work? How are you going to come to work? Then he himself did say that he's comfortable with the distance. Okay, this and that. I mean, distance-wise or the places that you stay, your location-wise, may not be the main concern. The main concern is we want talent. We want talent. Yeah.
All right. So we're getting quite a few questions here. So maybe Louis, you can take the next one. There's a very concerned student with us on Facebook Live, Ria Ruben, and Ria asked us, are fresh grads actually being hired right now? So have you actually hired a fresh grad from the time of the start of the lockdown to now?
Good question. At this point in time, we actually haven't hired a fresh grad during the MCO period. I can honestly say some of our key positions that are opened are as the quote key positions. It means that when our project is on a very tight timeline, and we need to deliver in a couple of weeks in time. So we have prioritized our hiring in urgency first. So right now, during this MCO period or CMCO period, we haven't been open to any fresh grads. However, that will obviously change once everything is a bit more settled down, as well as over in our HQ side in Germany. Once it's obviously calmed and settled down, we'll be given obviously a green light to resume hiring as our business worked before. You know, with our nature of our business, we have a lot of pockets in our business that we do look at fresh grads, and we rather take on fresh grads than people with experience, you see. So right now, no.
Okay, Seekay. Yes. Have you hired a fresh grad from the start of the lockdown to now?
From the start of lockdown to now, honestly, we haven't hired any fresh grad yet, but the recruitment of a management trainee program is still ongoing. It's still ongoing. So I would say that that could be a very good opportunity for fresh grad to apply. Of course, our selection process are quite, I would say, we seriously select or we cautiously select candidates, okay, for management training program. So this batch, which is gonna coming in by, we're gonna start it by July or August, okay? We have about 10 more places left, okay? We have 10 more vacancy, I would say, the space for management training program.
All right, just adding to that, let's make this a bit more interesting. Just adding on to what Ria said, have any of you hired someone purely digitally from the start of the lockdown to now? That means no face-to-face, purely online. Have you done it?
I will take this question first, I believe. Yeah, we have actually screened, interviewed, and hired, also onboarded people already within these couple of months virtually. So I think the big shock factor is that our own candidates never came to the office, never shook my hand, never met any of the people in person. But obviously what we do endorse is, obviously as an IT business, this is kind of the standard procedure when, you know, we can't really interact face to face anymore, you know, for this period of MCO or CMCO. So, you know, to answer you in short, yeah, we have done it, and successfully we've done it as well, which is surprising.
How about you, Seekay? Have you hired anyone virtually?
Yes, we did, okay. And surprisingly, the department that we hires the most, okay, during this MCO virtually, our finance department, okay.
Most of the time,
most of the time, finance candidate will prefer face-to-face interview, so that because we have a test, we will give to them, okay, a technical test mainly on receivable account, and we call it AR, okay, as receive and accept payment, okay? So account receivable, as account payable, where they need to go through a series of tests. Then our manager will decide whether to take or not to take this particular candidate, okay? So, but this round through virtual interview, I felt surprised when I go back. I mean, like when I look at the data before I came into this webinar just now, with wow, how come most of them are from finance? And one or two of them are to PR department. Yeah, we did quite a few of them. I would say at least 5 to 6 of them. We did it through virtual.
All right, great. We have another question. We have a question from Christina Naidu on Zoom. And Christina asked us, what's the ideal length of a resume for an internship? Luis?
Right. I think for Christina, as an intern, as a potential intern, we don't look for a wealth of experience. We don't look for 6 or 7 jobs within the span of your studies. So I can honestly say 1 page will do. And you know, when we do get resumes for internships and they are 3 or 4 pages long, it does kind of put a question mark as to, if your experience is not relevant for the job that you're applying for, why is it on your resume? So all I would recommend is, on the resume itself, state your passion, state your key skills that you think you're competent in. Obviously the university, the degree, and if you have a part-time job, no matter what it is, just maybe 1 or 2, just add it in, but don't clutter the resume. Make it simple, short. For us, you know, what we do, like I mentioned, what we analyze and what we try to differentiate between you and other interns is, you know, what is your passion? Those questions of how we decipher what is your passion, we will have to get on the call and speak to you and understand you a bit more. So the resume, keep it short, keep it simple. You know, don't let CK or his team to get bogged down with reading 3 or 4 pages. It's tedious for us. All we want to do is pick up the phone and speak to you and understand and get to know you better.
Right. How about you, CK?
From our side, for fresh graduate, my advice is, I mean, same with Luis, 1 page is good enough. Okay, 1 page is good enough. So maybe a small photo on the left corner or right corner, top corner, all right? And then your major of study, your strength, okay, and some of the activity that you did participated actively back to the university then. Some of the society and club that you're active with, okay, and your own passion towards work. What are the skills that you have? If you know how to use Photoshop, Illustrator, just put it there. Just put it there. If you are good in using data analysis software like SPSS and Vivo, put it there. We want that very clearly. If we can see that, Photoshop, Illustrator, and your job role is somewhere around design, marketing, or PR, I think that will be an advantage. That will be an advantage. And something to share to fresh graduate, you may have a very creative resume, okay? You may have a very informative resume, but we did experience some of the resume that you don't have your contact, okay? Your date of birth, your email address. Your email address, we'll get it because through your application channel, and your contact number. I mean, even we are interested to get in touch with this person. I flipped front and back. I didn't see any contact info. These are some of the common mistakes. Okay? So stay focused on your strength, very important. As we say, some of your experiences, even a part-time job where you're working in KFC or McDonald's, never mind. Okay, at least we know that you are someone who's been doing customer service before. And we know that you have certain level of EQ level within this particular candidate.
All right, great.
One page is good enough.
All right, one page is good enough. So I hope that answered your question. Ria has another question. I think we need to give Ria something like, I know, giving a cookie is unhygienic, but we will give her something for asking very good questions. I think the question is for you, Louis. She's asking if the IT industry, is it still really hiring a lot of students and fresh grads, and what kind of positions really are there in the IT industry in Malaysia?
That's a very good question. Okay, so I think firstly to kind of decipher the employer side of things is most of the businesses out here in Malaysia within the IT segment, they focus on different areas of IT. So it's very well and good that, you know, if you're a fresh grad and you say that you want a career in IT, for us inside the business, we want you to really define what is it about IT that you want, okay? There's so many different services that we provide. So if you say to me that you want an IT job, it doesn't make sense to me. It's too broad. You need to tell me you like to code, you like this language of coding, or you like to handle tickets and do infrastructure work, or you tell me that you like to just do testing. There's so many different varieties of IT positions that are out there, and every business is different. Not all of them will have coding jobs, for example. Not all of them will have testing jobs, for example. So it's really for you to understand about yourself, how you tailor your own CV, at the same time understanding about the business you're applying for and what you expect to get out of them. So I can say we are definitely in the Malaysian market not short of IT jobs. I can honestly, hand on heart, say it's one of the key sectors globally that is surviving and surviving very strong. I think like I mentioned at the beginning of our webinars, you know, the wake-up call is really there for businesses to really go digital. And businesses like ours are really thriving from that situation because we do provide that service. And when a business like ours is thriving, we have to also think about businesses like OPPO, for example, what they are doing internally and digitally. So of course, they will be also hiring IT people as well. So we really have to broaden up and narrow down to exactly what is your, not only your field of studies, but what is your passion? So I hope that answers the question.
Right. I guess again, it comes down to actually knowing what's out there and knowing what you want to do, because your passion will show, you know, in the interview and in the job that you eventually do, right? So we have another question on Zoom. I guess CK, you can take this one. It's from Ui Tian Hui. Ui asks us if interns nowadays would be expected to work from home, but how can they get real life practical experience if they can't really work out there?
Okay, here's the point that some of the point that I think for OI questions is now, okay? So working from home are probably most of the task-oriented assignment. Task-oriented assignment. So from OPPO Malaysia, most of our assignments to interns are task-oriented, where task was given to you, tasks were given to you, okay? So you gotta get it done before certain deadline. So, I mean, something that you really need to learn if you are working from home during this MCO, if you are very unlucky, all these your intern is only 2 months, and all of the 2 months is working from home. So some of the experience that you need to really, okay, put it up as your communication skill with your colleague, most probably communication skill with your colleague, and your social skill with the colleague. Okay, how to social with your colleague. Okay, and I will tell you that social skills, even when you go back to the office later, we will have this so-called social distance. Okay, right. So you really need to know. I mean, when I'm talking about social distance, means you are not as close as before, where we're back to the normal time. When we're back to the normal time. So communication skills is very important. If you're working from home and you want to get yourself ready to go to the workforce, the normal workforce, where you got to work in the office, communication skill is the first thing you need to fill it up with. Okay. All right. So working from home, your main challenge is the communication. This is your main challenge. Okay. I think just try to improve. I mean, or try to get more enhancement in the eye of communication skills.
All right, great. The other question we have, we just got a question in from Facebook Live. It's kind of related to what we were talking about here, which is what tips do you have for online interviews, Lewis?
What tips do I have? I mean, I can be very honest and say online interviews is not very different from a face-to-face interview. Like I keep reiterating on this webinar, you want to really demonstrate and show your passion for something, and not just on the surface level. You want to go in depth, and there's no difference of doing it either face-to-face or virtually. We will still be able to pick that up. We will be able to tell by the way you portray that language, the way that you emphasize on what you want to do, and not just say, I like this, and that's it. You're gonna go deep. Why do you like it? What have you done to really enhance that part of your skill? So for us, doing it face-to-face or doing it over on Microsoft Teams or Skype or Zoom, there's no difference. You sell yourself just the same as you would when you're face-to-face.
Any input, Seekay, on this?
Interview virtually, okay? So I would advise a candidate to, interview virtually and face-to-face interview, the main difference is, as we say just now, there's no non-verbal communication observation, okay? So you should take your online interview or your Zoom or virtual interview, okay, seriously. For ladies, even if it is a virtual interview, I will advise you to at least put on the lipsticks, okay? So a simple makeup, so to looks more, more presentable, okay? So even you're wearing your don't wear your pajamas, okay, for your interview. So where at least your top part of your body, okay, is presentable. I don't care whether you're wearing slipper or your shorts, okay. So a very, very important tips for those who are doing online interview is try to speak slower. Jai pointed out a very good point just now. Before we started our webinar, I am a quick speaker. I speak very fast. So, but when you do virtual interview, always remember there's no non-verbal communication. Nobody see whether you nod your head or you shake your head or whatever. Sometimes this interview may be only phone interview. I won't even see your face. You know what I mean? Try to talk slower, explain deeper and clearer and clearer. Okay? Just like myself, I myself is a very quick speaker. I speak very fast, okay? But when we come to webinar or online training, I will remind myself, Seekay, go slower and clearer. That is very, very important.
Yeah, I think Seekay, both of us, we are very kanchong when we speak, right? So we need to kind of slow it down, right? So people can actually hear us. Plus, there's a lag normally because of the internet speeds and all that. All right, so let's take a very short break. I would like to talk to all the participants. If you guys know how to use the reactions in Zoom, click on the raise your hands, wave, clap, show us some reactions. And I'm also sharing right now in the chat box the links to the Malaysia's 100 Leading Graduate Employers Survey 2020. If you haven't done the survey yet, please do. Please rank Malaysia's 100 leading graduate employers. Tell us who you want to work for and share with us all your needs and wants in your first job. So the link has been shared in the chat window, and we also have a link on giving us feedback on this session of the Grad Malaysia Digital Roundtable, also in the chat box. So please, give us a feedback on the session, and also follow us on Grad Malaysia. We have a link tree down there as well with all of our social media handles. So if you have any more questions for recruiters like Luis and Seekay, reach out to us on social media. We are on Grad Malaysia, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram. TikTok, not yet, maybe, let's see. But yeah, TikTok is exploding right now. Everyone is forced to use it. So we may be on TikTok soon, but please ask us any questions you have on our social media. So, all right, Luis and CK, let's move on to the skills that a student or a fresh grad can actually learn while they are stuck at home, right? There are so many online courses. There are so many YouTube videos. What kind of skills do you feel are really indispensable right now, Luis?
Well, that's a really good question. I think, okay, so we're going to have to really separate it from, technical hard skill to soft skill, which I can see one of the questions came up. For us, I mean, hard skill, it's really subjective. Hard skill is really based on a technology trend. At the same time, internally for our business is really based on the project on hand, what are the deliverables. Whereas when it comes to soft skills, that's a different story. I mean, we can talk about so many different types of soft skills. And CK mentioned one, communication. That is key right now. The other ones would be, I guess, it's really, I mean, is it really something that you can learn from a course? Probably, you can read up about it, but it's really time management. Time management right now is a really important focus point. Where most businesses are trying to make sure everyone is productive as much as possible. So you've been given, let's say, 8 hours within a day, and 8 hours you're expected to be to kind of achieve a certain milestone. Then what we want to do is obviously strive to achieve that faster, so we have more time to evaluate whether or not we've done the work correctly. So time management is really one of the key traits to have, especially coming out as a fresh grad. Really learning about what to prioritize, how to tackle difficult conversations with your superior, as well as with your team about time, how to coordinate. If anyone has ever worked in a project before for their kind of final year project or year-end project, working in that dynamics of a team, I can safely tell you, in our work environment, that's what you're going to be doing all the time. So those are the, whatever skill that you had to use to make sure that the project was delivered smoothly and that your tutor was able to get your submission on time and everyone was in sync doing all of this. You're going to fine tune and understand what made that possible and what made that achievable. Was it how you talk to your peers, how you talk to your project mates or your team leader? It doesn't matter what it is. Just understand how that communication came about and how the time sequence of your project was actually able to be constructed, how the work was able to piece together. Those are the things that, whilst you're in your final year, you definitely have to take with you in your first, second, no matter how many years, 10 years of working like myself, we still have to have that.
CK, any input on this?
Okay, for the skills that you required during this MCO, I mean, not only for fresh graduate, in fact, during MCO, so one of the effort by our company is we encourage our staff, even very senior staff, our GM, okay, to take up some trainings online. And we have a fund to sponsors or to support employee for trainings, okay? So to take up training online. I do believe that this MCO period, or about 2 months or more than that, okay, it's a golden time, it's the right time for fresh graduates to learn to learn skills that you are not able to learn it from the university. Give you a very simple tips. One thing that I realized from fresh graduates, okay, is, and I'm not sure Louis' industry, but in our industry, Microsoft Excel skill is very, very, very important. I'm gonna tell you this, Microsoft Excel is very important. Your tabulation, some of the formulas, okay, and then PowerPoint skills nowadays. I mean, try to sharpen your Microsoft Office skills. This is the first thing you need to do. And I believe that university will not teach you this. Even schools will not teach you this. Whatever they teach you are very foundation thing. You need to explore by yourself. Where to get these skills from? A simple tip, whether everything is free in YouTube. And there are a lot of people generated content for YouTube. They shared everything in YouTube. Learn from there. In IT industry, a lot of engineers share their knowledge in YouTube as well. You can get it from there. For fresh graduate, besides sharpen your soft skill or hard skills, okay, one thing that I would advise you to do is go to some of the free sites that you can do your DISC test. DISC test. Find out your characteristic. Then only you know what kind of characteristic you are, what is your strength, okay, your personality, strength, and weakness. Then sort out what are the career or what are the role, okay, what are the occupation that suits for your personality. Then aim for it, and then only you're going to apply for interview. If you do it the right way, in the right direction, trust me, the chances for you to be employed by your potential employer will be very, very high. Okay? Let's say you are a red color person, very orange person or red color person. No point, no point for you to go and interview a post which is like finance account executive, because or inventory executive, because we know that this kind of role are for those who are able to sit in front of their desk for 9 hours to get things done. So if you're someone who are from the red color or orange color, go for something more exciting, marketing, PR, promotion, event, or even sales, okay? So you need to identify your DISC very well, okay, before you proceed to search for a job which is suited for yourself. So out of Microsoft skill, Photoshop skill, that kind of, we will say, skills that demand by the market, you need to identify your own color, your characteristic. Do a free personality test. I mean, there are plenty of sites online that provide this. You know what I mean? You go to site A, they tell you that you're yellow. Then you go to site B, they tell you that you're green. Then no harm to do in 10 sites. Wherever they tell you, I mean, maybe 7 of them say that you are yellow. That means you are someone who are quite yellow.
All right. Very interesting. Yes. We have another question also from Pakrushi Shakirin. Is there a peak hiring season for your companies, or do you have open positions available all year round? Luis?
Generally, we have positions all year round, but I can say from a recruiter's perspective, the busiest time of the year, okay, actually I'm gonna go the other way around. The time that we have rarely any applicants at all is during Chinese New Year, and it's during Hari Raya, and it's during Christmas as well, towards the New Year. And lastly is towards when bonus payout comes out. So we're talking about January, February time. So those are the kind of, I guess, pockets within the year that we really just don't get enough applications. We don't get enough people who have that desire to move on. They're either sitting there waiting for something, or they are waiting to pass their New Year's and celebrate with their family, then go back onto the job market. I often say, you know what, if you are proactive in looking for a job during those times, you'll pretty much be the only applicant, which is a very good thing for you.
Seekay, any input on this?
Yes, we do hire all year long, okay, all year long. But as we say, we have our peak period as well, where most of the time is after Chinese New Year. I mean, or after Christmas, yes. You may aim somewhere in between January till April, okay? Where in certain sense, we will say that why? Because some of the company, their bonus payout will be Christmas. Some of the company, their bonus payout will be before Chinese New Year. So a lot of employees, after they take, they really plan to resign, okay? Or they really found a better opportunity. The time is they want to take their bonus first. collect their bonus, then they resign. Then we're going to look for replacement for this particular fella. Okay, so for banking industry, it may be somewhere around June or July, because for most of the bank, their bonus payout is in June, if I'm not mistaken. So aim this particular time for fresh graduates. Okay, so I think that is the time. For this 2020, because of this COVID-19, I would say that after this CMCO, there will be a big wave of hiring. There'll be a big wave of hiring. I mean, no doubt some of the company are doing retrenchment. So one of the strategy of retrenchment will be those who are receiving higher pay, okay, and in the middle management position. So this group gonna be retrenched, and the senior level gonna take care on whatever this middle manager is doing. And then they will hire quite a lot of fresh graduate and train them, okay, to take up this particular job from the person who will retrench, okay.
All right, very interesting. We have more questions coming up. Okay, I'm going to make a mistake on your name. I'm very sorry. Huang Xin, I hope I got it right. I'm very sorry. Asked us on Zoom, what are the significant characteristics of fresh graduates that employers look for? Hard skills, soft skills, minimum CGPA. I think we spoke about hard skills and soft skills. So maybe let's not go too deep into that. But what about the kind of CGPA you're looking for, the kind of extracurricular activities you are interested in, and also the languages that you are interested in? Lewis?
I think, yeah, I mean, I've covered most of those in the previous topic just now. I would say when it comes to CGPA, honestly, within our business, that is not a crucial aspect of what we're looking for. Definitely on the extracurricular activities, we would love to understand what you do in your free time, and whether or not what you do in your free time correlates to, I guess, what you're applying for. So say, for instance, if you have a passion for, let's say, application development, very specific languages like Java, for instance, and you tell us during an interview that during your free time, you like to self-study, you like to go to forums, you like to meet other people that are, never done before, trying to learn, trying to kind of talk to one another, networking events about Java development. Those are the things that we want to hear. Those are the things that we would like to see from you. I think that bodes very well along with characteristics as well. Simply to say, if you are able to demonstrate and showcase that during an interview, we would really see that characteristic about you, that you are a learner. And we love learners, especially in our industry. We love people who, when they first come in, either for an internship or a graduate, we don't expect you to be a know-it-all. And we don't want a know-it-all. We want open books, like Seekay mentioned. We want you to be able to learn, pick up new things. We want you to be very aggressive about it as well. I want to learn this. I want to learn this next week. I want to learn this the week after. We want you to be fast-paced. We want you to keep growing your knowledge. That's kind of what we look for in our fresh grads.
How about you, CK? What kind of CGPA are you looking for? Activities, languages?
Okay, for CGPA wise, I would advise that for those who are working hard, okay, for the academic at this moment, try to target somewhere minimum cap at 3.0, 3.0. This should be the minimum cap, okay, that you need to have, okay. I mean, the reflection is very straightforward. 3.0 average means all subjects you got a B, okay. Because I was a lecturer previously, I'm quite familiar with the systems, okay? You got a B for all of the subject in average. So CGPA wise is not really that important yet, although just now I did say, at this moment, the first thing we're gonna look is your major of study and then your grade, okay? But characteristic wise is more important for us. We want someone that came in, no matter your interview is through online or even face-to-face interview, we want you to be someone who are very confident, but not overconfident, okay? You're confident, but at the same time, you're open to learn, and you're humble enough, okay? You're humble enough. For language-wise, in OPPO Malaysia, we'll prefer those who can speak fluent English and who can speak fluent Mandarin, okay, or Chinese will be added advantage because we are a China HQ company, okay? China has some of the source of communication direct from China are in Chinese. Okay, so this is so, as I said, that this is added advantage. But anyway, we have other races of employees in the company as well. We have quite a lot of them. Recently, we hired quite a big group of them that I can speak, but I don't know how to read and write. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. So language skills wise, priority is still English. Priority is still English. Okay. So characteristic wise, as I say, confidence is very important. Your ability to communicate, to speak up yourself, and you show your passion towards the job that we are offering you. That is very, very important.
All right. So we have 5 minutes left. Louis, let's get back to you. Can you share a story or any memory of a fresh grad or a student who has really impressed you with something they did? It could be well before the lockdown, okay? Or you can also tell us what would be your ideal student or fresh grad candidate?
Okay. I think better to. I'm not going to name names because I don't know if he's listening into the call. We do have an outstanding employee within our business that his technical capability for a fresh grad was well beyond. I can say well beyond most of our intermediate people who's got 5, 6, 7 years experience. Right now, he's probably got 1.5 to 2 years experience, working experience, of course, but his technical capability is just outstanding. It's purely that mentality as soon as he graduated or during the internship that he really focused in self-studying and actually understanding very niche areas of technology that he wants to focus in. And he just dived head in. And with that focus, you can really see in comparison, someone with less than 1 year experience versus someone with 5 years experience, there was no comparison. Actually, the fresh grad was better in terms of theory, in terms of practical. He was just all round better. And that came with, that was really demonstrated by at the beginning during the interview situation, all the way to when he started the job and when he was actually deployed and actually doing hands-on in a project that he really spent the time to learn. And till this day, I mean, if Seekay and me in the same situation, if you just read his resume, it's very simple. It's very straightforward. It doesn't say anything. What we got from him was basically during the interview and how he answered the question and what he said his focus and what he said his main aspiration is and what he wants to do in the future. He really was able to tell me a 5-year plan. And this is talking about someone who just graduated. He was able to tell me, okay, in between now and in 5 years' time, this is what I want to do. I don't want to become a leader. I don't want to handhold anyone. I don't want to teach anyone. I just want to be an expert in this area. And he was really able to carve that way out. And during an interview process, where I can safely say the hiring manager and many other team leads were very impressed. Until this day, he's still in our business. I often say, look, your resume doesn't say everything. Clearly on his resume, it was nothing special. It was how his own personality shined through during an interview process that, we made that commitment and we took him on, and now he's, part of the family with us. So I think I always like to tell this story because it was a hidden gem that no one would have known. It was something to do, nothing would have pointed into this direction to say he's the future, he's the best in that segment of the business, or nothing said that. It was all about how his portrayal of himself and how he sees himself to be. And that was all it took. So that's one of the stories that I guess is the most memorable.
All right, we have 2 minutes. Seekay, do you have any stories like this?
I would say that during this MCO, okay, or before this MCO, before this MCO, we have recruited a batch of intern, okay, and one of the girls is working in our HR division. So I did observe her for quite some time. She's very humble, okay. Although she's not a very talkative person, she's kind of quiet actually. But I was surprised by the quality of work that she delivered. Okay, I would say that the error, okay, because for fresh graduate or even interns, I mean, as a superior, we know that they will make mistakes, and we allow mistake, and we allow mistake, and we expect mistake as well. Okay, we expect mistake as well. But the issue is, but something surprised me was, I mean, the mistake that she made are very minimal, very minimal. So during the MCO, from myself personally, I've already, I mean, encouraged or even support. Okay, put on a word for my superior that why not we just convert her straightforward as a full timer for us. Let her go under probation of 6 months. We just absorb her directly and park it under my division, and park her under my division. So I think this is a very good point where you have to be, I mean, to show your positive personality, where you're always ready to learn. Okay, you're always ready to learn, and you must be hardworking enough. You must be hardworking enough as an intern. Okay, where you will see like, hey, someone is shining over there. A big bunch of interns. Why I decided to take her up instead of others? Okay, because I can see this one will be the future shining star in the department.
All right, that's a wonderful story to end this with. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much, Luis from Arvato. Thank you, Seekay from OPPO Malaysia. It was a really fun chat, and I hope you guys had fun as well.
Sure.
Can we wave goodbye to our students?
Goodbye and good luck.
Wish them the best of luck.
Yes, best of luck.
Best of luck, everyone.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Jai.
Thank you, CK. Thank you, Jai.
Thank you.
Okay. Enjoy your day. Bye.